Hey everyone, welcome back to Zaner Honey Farm. Today I wanted to go over a few things that I figured I would show you that I did do off camera. So when you saw last time on my last video, you saw that the cage was still in front of the hive because they were not trying to leave that, and I didn't know how long that would take. And you also saw that there was I'm watching them because they're doing something different now. So I got a little impatient. What happened was I got a little impatient, and I was kind of fearful because that night it was supposed to drop down to about 34 degrees. So I wanted them to have a good home to like be in and be warm and be sheltered from not just the cold, but I knew it was going to be raining the next day too, and it was also going to be cold that next day as well. Before I go any further, apologies, it's really windy, so I don't know how the sound's coming out, but so I got a little impatient, and what I ended up doing was I opened up the lid and I shook them into the box. I used the smoker to kind of keep them calm and so they wouldn't come into like around me. But what I ended up doing was I shook the rest of them in there and I let them go. And then I kind of checked on them in the night, and then I ended up kind of just watching them over the next day. Yesterday I really couldn't make a video because I got home late and it was too dark and I had a lot of stuff to do, but I wanted to come out here and show you what I also did. So yesterday morning, which is the day after I made that last video, they started doing something new, and they were fine. They were all in the hive. They were doing great. Not many going in and out because of that entrance reducer that I showed you, the little hole in the front. And then I guess they decided, because, and keep in mind, they do not have a queen at the moment. My queen is supposed to be coming on Tuesday. Today is Sunday. So I don't think they know what to do because of the queen. So I'm going to show you what they have started to do now. And I had to move the hive because of it, just in case they wanted to go back in. They have been like that for almost 2 days. They have completely swarmed the middle. It's like this, what would be like this open area, but over here. And they have swarmed, and it got down to about 34 degrees. And it rained on them, and I even checked on them during the rain, and they just stayed there. They didn't go in the hive, and I have no idea why, other than I don't think they know what to do without a queen. And because I didn't have a queen to slowly set them into the hive, I think they are behaving this way because they don't have a queen. So that's the conclusion that I have come to. But otherwise, I don't really know why they're doing that. Right now, it is a cool 58, 59, 60 degrees, something of that effect. It's sunny out, so it's not too bad, so they're flying around. When it gets down to about 40 or less, they're not flying around. They are all in that one bundle, and they are like, I thought they were dead, actually, because it was so cold. They are, and I disturbed them so to see if they were still alive, and they were. So this is what they've decided to do, and I think it's literally because they are leaderless and they don't have a queen at the moment. So once they have a queen, I will put her in the hive to see if they go back in there. Now, the other thing, because I was impatient, I wanted to show you that I did clean out. You saw the pile of dead bees that came in the cage, and then I dumped them in there anyway when I introduced them into the new hive. I got rid of that. I dumped them all out because if any more die, or if I have varroa mites, a problem, I want to be able to see that. So I dumped them out here on the grass. Like I said, it was quite a lot. So I did that. Now I want to show you the inside of the hive. And see, because here's the weird part, is they're not really acting collectively, which is why I also conclude that it's because they don't have a queen. But you'll see in here, see there's one in here, one there, some in the feeder that I left in there, some down in the bottom crawling around. You can see them down below the varroa mite cage, or sure to call it a separator. And then you have over here this one bulk of them right here that are just staying in a little pod together. There's probably like 20 of them right there that are just in this little heat body, just staying together. And yeah, so I've looked on some of the these things right here, these are foundations for comb, honeycomb, and I've looked on all of them, and other than some like bee droppings and stuff like that, whatever it is, they're little whenever they're moving around, spitting, trying to make comb stuff, it's just been random. Other than that, they're not making anything. I think they're just, so without a queen, I think it's been a big problem. As you can see, there's none in here in these frames. Over here on this side, this dude's all by himself. There's some down there that are just sitting still, hanging out. And like I said, completely cleaned out. There's still some that are kind of stuck in there, but that's okay. These guys right here are just kind of hanging out, and they're not with the rest of the group. So I don't know. I might want to catch these guys and separate them into another box, because they look to be a little bit smarter than the rest of them that are just sitting out here in the rain and the cold. I don't really know why the other group is over here, but yeah, I think because there's a pod over there and then the rest of them are over here, they're not acting collectively. There's some hanging out down there. You know, bees are going to do their thing and go all over and do, you know, collecting nectar and pollinating and stuff. But usually a bulk of them act as like one group, and you can see that there's multiple little groups doing their own thing. Some in the feeder, some being lazy fat bodies, and some over here trying to be warm, and then the rest of them over here doing their thing. So I don't really know. I think it's just because they're queenless. So that's kind of what's going on with the bees today. I had a pretty quick day at work. Come home, it's nice out. They're doing pretty well. I have not been stung again yet. So I'm kind of hoping that in the midst of all these bees, that they'll, I don't know, maybe make a queen. That'd be cool, because then I would have a queen coming in, a queen with the new package I just bought, and then a queen made here. And then I would have, I think I'd have to split the bees, and I'd be able to use all three of my deep hive bodies. That would be pretty cool. And then I'd have three separate ones to go. And what I'm going to end up actually doing is when I get the new, I lost my train of thought. When I get that new package of bees that has the queen in it, what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to buy that bottom board that has that's a separate piece, and then that other lid, you can buy them all in separate pieces. What I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to get one of my other hive bodies, set it over here, buy a new bottom board and a top lid, and then I'm going to shake them into that one. I'm going to introduce the new queen that Farm and Fleet is sending me into these guys to see if they start acting normal, and then we'll see how the two hives, if they work together, work against each other, just do their own thing, to each his own type of deal. I'm looking over here and I feel like I don't know if it's a big worker bee or if it's a new queen. But they all have like a cap on their back, but the queen is exponentially larger. They did something with the queen. She's not in here anymore. I think they drug her dead ass out and something. I'm really hoping what happened was they didn't send me a queen that they rejected. And then, which makes me also think that if I bring a new queen in, because bees can reject a queen. So what they do is, if they like her, they kind of just like put their little hands up, and then they kind of like walk around her, and they might sit on her, might not. When they reject her, they completely like ball up around her. I mean, they're beating her up, they're stabbing her with their stingers, maybe like partially so that they don't kill themselves. I mean, they beat the queen up if they reject her, and it's kind of sad, because then they act leaderless whenever they don't have a queen. So it's a little bit of a conundrum when they do that. But you know, hopefully they don't reject the new queen. Hopefully everything goes well after I get that new queen, and everything's pretty smooth. They're really calm. I got stung once, but they're pretty calm. You're always going to have one that might not like you, or you swat at him, or he lands on your face and you blink on him and he gets you. But they're really, really calm bees. I mean, I don't come out here with the veil anymore. I really don't have a need to smoke them unless I want to move them. But I mean, they're really woven in on this piece right here, and I'm literally this close to them, and they're flying all around me, and they don't really land on me. They don't bother me. They might fly a little close to my face and I flinch or something, like I did at the beginning of the video. But you know, as long as you're not really twitching or moving around, they act pretty calm, and they've consistently stayed like that. So I mean, that's a good thing. And this is, I mean, as you can see, this is like a bulk of the bees. They're all over the place. I'm trying not to step on them. But, I mean, it really does go pretty deep, this body of bees. And, I mean, they're really doing their thing. And I mean, if I can maybe rotate or get the phone down here to show you. I don't know, maybe if I can lift this pallet up. Oh, they're attached to the grass. Yeah, so their thing goes all the way down to the grass. But yeah, that's what they're doing. They're all up in there. I thought about, like, I was trying to figure out a way to maybe try and get them back into the hive. But they've got sweet feed in there, so if that's not attracting them, I don't know what else to do other than maybe put the queen when I get her in there, and hopefully they just, because normally what they do is they have to eat out on, you poke like a hole through this cork. This is like a candied piece in there, and they're supposed to eat through that and get her out on that side. Because as you can see, that's like a thick piece in there, and it takes them a while to get her out. So when them trying to get her out of that cage, they're establishing themselves in the hive. So usually there's like a tab you can like put her in, and she'll like hang like that in there, and then you can put the lid on, and then they'll pull her out. And then while they were doing that, the rest of them are working on doing other stuff. And then they're like, oh, well, I guess we'll just stay here. Well, they didn't have a queen. And even though I shook them in there, I guess they didn't like it. But we'll see, or just didn't know what to do. So I want to see what they're doing in there, but I don't want to hurt any of them. I want to just kind of let them do their thing. And I was worried about it raining on them and being cold. But if you think about it, wild bees hanging in a tree, they'd get rained on every day. So, I mean, they'd be out in the weather and they'd have to survive. So, it's not a bad thing. They're all still here. This is all I got. But, they're doing okay. So I guess that's all that matters. But so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put this back on for today. It's not really gonna be a long one today, a long video. But make sure I get that on good. That's basically just a quick update on what they're doing. Again, I'm posting all these videos on YouTube. They might be 40 minutes like my first one. They might be 20 minutes like my second one. They're not always going to be super long or super short. Each day is going to be a little different. I'll show you what they're doing, kind of talk about it. If you have any questions, I'm learning about this stuff too. I did plenty of research before going into it, but I also, there's just new stuff I haven't learned yet, and I'm, this is a journey that I'm going through too, and, I'm learning along the way, and you're going to see as I learn what's going to be coming about with the entire process. I think when I go, because I have to go pick that package of bees up, that new one that I bought, and what I'm going to end up doing is, I think I'm going to ask him what I should do, because this is like a guy that like keeps a lot of hives so that he can sell packages of bees. He doesn't really go for the honey as more so repopulating so that he can sell bees. And I'm gonna when I go down there to pick it up, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask him to see if there's any way I can get them back into the hive when I get my new queen. So, because I got a new queen that's either gonna be here or ship on Tuesday. I think it's ship on Tuesday. Maybe I'll pick it up later. But like a week from today is when I think I can go pick up my new package of bees. So we'll see how that all lines up. It might end up all being in the same day or a day apart from each other. So there's some cool stuff coming up. So we'll see how all that ends up working out with re-queening this package of bees, this colony, and setting in the new colony into their own hive box. And yeah, so that's pretty much all I got going on now. And tomorrow we'll come back out here, we'll see how they're gonna do it. I'm gonna talk about a few other things tomorrow, stuff that are, I think, off topic from bees, a few things that are near and dear to me, and stuff that's important to me, stuff I kind of want to introduce on this channel. And so stay tuned tomorrow, and we will talk about that stuff then. Thanks, guys.